Artificial intelligence like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Firefly, and other types of platforms are all good examples of popular technology today that can do a wide variety of different functions and tasks. Now, artificial intelligence in recent years has exploded in popularity. In 2023 and 2024, we got introduced primarily to ChatGPT. Since then, there have been dozens of different AI applications and programs and websites that we can use to do a wide variety of different tasks. Particularly, let's talk about what we're going to be focusing on in this video. From an AI perspective, we're going to be talking about voice assistants, recommendation systems, predictive text, chatbots like ChatGPT, automation, as well as generative AI. Here you can see our common uses of artificial intelligence. Here are some common artificial intelligence products. Here we have OpenAI's different types of products such as ChatGPT. We have Google's Gemini, Adobe Firefly, which is amazing for image generation. We have Claude, DeepSeek, Comet Browser, and there are dozens more products out there, but these are just a few examples. Let's start here with AI voice assistants. So voice assistants are AI-powered tools that we can use in order to give some sort of verbal instruction in order for the AI to actually do something with that, whether that's taking the verbal instruction and adding something to our calendar, or whether it's taking the verbal instruction and finding the information we need or completing some sort of task. That's what our voice assistants are there for. Most commonly, you can use Siri. You can also actually use ChatGPT and other types of AI software that have voice capabilities. So for example, on ChatGPT, I could start a new chat, I can use the voice function, and then from there, ChatGPT interprets that voice memo or message, and it's able to respond with whatever information or action that I'm requesting it to do. Next up is recommendation systems. These are, again, very, very well and commonly built into modern AI like ChatGPT, but they are specific tools as well. So these suggest different products, content, things like that. Now, what we most often see with recommendation systems is actually advertisements and on social media. So for example, on Instagram or Facebook, you have your own feed. Same thing on TikTok. All of that is compiled through what you've actually watched, your preferences, how long you've scrolled, how long you've stopped at certain videos, how many videos you've actually watched to completion, what you've liked, what you've interacted with. Those are recommendation systems. Recommendation systems are not necessarily just things that like recommend, say, a restaurant or a certain product. These are really, really well built into social media as well as modern day advertising. And again, they're based on your interests, behavior, post activity, and things like that. Next up is predictive text. This is pretty common, and this was around before AI, but this is a function of modern day AI as well. So predictive text is just your phone or computer or whatever program you're using or whatever interface you're using, just suggesting the next word or phrase. This isn't necessarily only confined to artificial intelligence, but this is something that you need to know. Predictive text is a type of feature. And again, it's not just confined to AI, but we do use it along with AI. Next up is chatbots. And chatbots nowadays are usually artificial intelligence. We can find them on websites. We can find them on different types of programs that we download. Chatbots, most commonly, ChatGPT, but nowadays you could customize your own chatbot. So for example, I can make a chatbot of me with all of my information, and then you could interact with that chatbot. That's becoming a lot more common, especially in small to mid-sized businesses, is people creating these chatbots that you can go on and they kind of talk like you. They have your cadence, they have your own style of speaking or interacting, and they're pretty cool because if you take the time to set up a chatbot, it can behave very, very similar to the exact way that you behave. So if you've got some time, it's cool. I would definitely recommend checking out a chatbot building product where you could actually go out, build a chatbot, maybe spend 10 or 20 minutes on it and see how well it can actually replicate the way that you talk. In some businesses, they do use these as well for customer experience. Additionally, sometimes these chatbots have different types of names, almost like their customer service. We've seen these a lot before in the past, and prior they weren't only AI, but nowadays with AI being so advanced, most of the time these chatbots are AI powered. Next up is automation. Automation is not confined to just artificial intelligence, but it is widely used with AI. Software is simply the process of using a software or some sort of tool in order to perform things automatically. We can set different cadences. So for example, I could have automation set up to back up my laptop every month. I could have automation set up to do a weekly calendar event for a specific task. I could have automation set up to go through my Trello board and automatically clean up all of the completed tasks. Automation is everywhere nowadays, and even if you don't use it directly with AI, many programs, many software, many tools, even our calendars nowadays use some form of automation. So automation, just think about it as some sort of tool or software or feature that allows you to do some sort of repetition. So when we talk about automating, we're normally talking about things being done by a computer technology and things being automated, meaning that they're being done automatically. Next up is generative AI. This is definitely one of the biggest parts of artificial intelligence today. Generative AI is sort of like a feature within AI. So it can create new content, text, images, videos, code. If you've seen some of those crazy videos online, those Sora videos, that's generative AI, where someone can go in, put in a prompt, and create these crazy realistic videos. I've seen dozens of these crazy ones online, especially for some reason the internet loves to create these with animals. So you can go online and look up Sora 2 or Sora 3 cat videos or dog videos, and you can see for yourself how crazy some of these generative AIs really are. Same thing with images though. With Firefly, we can go out and we can create dozens of images in the span of 10 or 20 minutes or less. If you have reference images, this is where things become extremely powerful. So nowadays with generative AI, we're living in the modern day world where we can't necessarily always tell what's real and what's AI generated or what's fake. So look out for this in the future. Different features on modern day AI, especially with ChatGPT, with different things like Gemini, like I was mentioning, Firefly, things like that. They're able to create some really, really crazy pieces of content, especially regarding images and videos. Now, of course, AI can create text, AI can create code, but really one of the hurdles that we've seen in the recent future or the recent common day is images and videos. Those were by far one of the hardest things for AI to make. And nowadays, AI is able to very, very accurately create images as well as videos. There's certain places where there are hiccups, but for the most part, generative AI is becoming a lot more advanced. So some use cases for this would be written content. A lot of students out there nowadays, they don't even really write their own essays and things like that. Writing essays, writing lengthy documents for school is a thing of the past. And teachers are starting to build different types of software out there. I know a lot of teachers have gotten together and created different types of community supported software that detect things like this. And a lot of companies are offering AI detection for things like essays, text, code, things like that. But keep in mind, right now we're living in this weird world where it's really, really hard to tell if something is actually AI generated. Generative AI is very, very advanced because you can go online and look up different types of programs or websites. Actually, you could go on Google and look up AI detection text, and you can find websites that have text detection for AI generated text, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes I look at things and I'm like, is that AI generated? I don't know. So just keep that in mind. You don't need to know this super in depth, but going forward in the future, outside of just a learning aspect or an exam aspect, knowing about generative AI and all of the future of AI is going to be incredibly crucial. So keep all this in mind. Generative AI, it's a part of modern day AI, especially with ChatGPT. ChatGPT's different functions are very, very great examples of modern day generative AI. And that's it for artificial intelligence topics in general. In this video, we covered all about artificial intelligence, and there's so many more programs, so many more different products out there besides just the products that I was showing you earlier, like Gemini and Firefly and ChatGPT and DeepSeek and Claude and the Comet browser. So go out there, look up the most common AI, go on YouTube, watch some YouTube videos. This topic of artificial intelligence, if you take away anything from this course or anything from what I teach you, I want it to be artificial intelligence because this is the future and this is going to start deciding a lot of who is going to have a job and who is not going to have a job in the future. I talk all about AI in other courses and in some of my different types of lectures on the modern day job market. I talk about it in all of the different courses that I have on things like LinkedIn, things like finding a job in IT, project management, and cybersecurity. So all that to say, this is probably it isn't probably, it is the most important topic that you can take away from this course. So spend some time outside of this course learning about AI, using AI, and understanding AI from a high level overview.